Taking a look at GMT on the 4 hourly, we did have a bit of a move below the 1618 here, all the way down to test these previous highs. Here I have drawn a green box of support indicating this. You can see we've had the test of the bottom of it with these previous highs, as well as this wick to the downside here. And you can see from this wick to where we are currently trading was around a 90% move right here, and all the way to the top was around a 114% move. So we had a pretty decent pump. If we zoom in here a little bit, it does look like we are forming somewhat of a inverse head and shoulders pattern, similar to a lot of other coins on the market right now, something like this. So what we can do now is take a price range from around where the neckline would be to the head and extrapolate the price data upwards. And if we come up here, it's actually targeting around the previous all-time highs. Now, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I really don't like using these a whole lot because the price range could really fall anywhere within this category. It could be a inverse head and shoulders pattern, but it might only push us up halfway, if that makes sense. Turn on the Ichimoku cloud and the EMA ribbon here on the 4 hour chart. You can actually see that we've had a pretty decent test of the EMA ribbon throughout this move to the downside, here, as well as currently. We're testing it pretty heavily here, which is a good sign, so we could very well break this to the upside. Here you can see we do have quite a large Ichimoku cloud ahead of us, and really not a great sign. We could break this to the upside and fall short, stopping out around here before we find another move down, or even all the way at the top here before we find another move down. Really anywhere in this range is considered a no trade zone, as this whole entire area is considered resistance. And you can see when we have broken below the 200 EMA, we had a kiss of death and ultimately trended lower. So we'll really need to break the 200 EMA as well as the Ichimoku cloud to the upside, maybe something like this, where we test the top of the cloud as support and then trend higher. Hop down on the hourly chart, you can actually see we have been below the 200 EMA ever since the downtrend started, so this will definitely be a level to look at around the 1 level on the Fibonacci retracement at this current moment. We really need to break this 200 EMA to the upside and test it as support so we can start to trend higher. We've currently broken through the Ichimoku cloud to the upside, but nothing extreme as of yet, and we really need to move out of here relatively quickly so we can see this inverse head and shoulders pattern play out. If not, we could very well fail the neckline and continue to trend lower. So to sum things up here, if this is the local bottom, at least for now, and that inverse head and shoulders pattern plays out, we could very well see a move all the way up to somewhere around the previous all-time highs, or even stop out at the 236 level, which is sitting around $3.4. If we do manage to break the EMA ribbon to the upside here, I'd be getting concerned as we start trading within this Ichimoku cloud. And this will be really anywhere between $2.1 and all the way up at $2.50. But that also depends on how long it takes for us to break the EMA ribbon to the upside. If we kind of do something like this and test the Ichimoku cloud over here, it could just send us lower. So really be looking out for this here in the next couple days. Ultimately, we will need to break this to the upside and use it as support so we can trend higher. If we do reject out of the Ichimoku cloud here, we could see somewhat of a double bottom before we trend higher, somewhat of a W pattern. But really, this green box needs to hold to the upside and break much below this wick, which is sitting around 81 cents. Could very well send us all the way down to the 2618, which is sitting at 46 cents. And you can see, since there really isn't a whole lot of price history for this, it'll pretty much be our last level of hope. If we do break the 2618 to the downside, we do have this previous high over here, as well as the 3618 and the 4236. And really after that point, you can see it's pretty much just a straight shot up. So if we do break this to the downside, it's pretty much unknown where we'll bottom out. So this is all I have for GMT today. If you enjoyed this video, go hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go and do so, as I try to post content daily. As always, this is not financial advice, and I'll see you in the next one.